So we're going to get into our next segment, Let There Be Art Favorite. This is Sign Drop Collab. In the theme of programming and deprogramming, we want to highlight some people who are taking us closer to that deprogramming, and we're going to start out with healers.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the healers are Dr. Sebi, Dr. Yaki, Queen Afua.
Oh, I mean, I love.
Do we have to do this together? Or are you gonna do
I don't think we have to do this together.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to. Oh my goodness, that's really difficult. That's very difficult.
I can go first if you want.
I will say that I would. Oh goodness, I would sign Queen Afua because she speaks to me directly. As a Black woman, she has been on this journey for so long. Like, she's spoken directly into my life and told me that I was going to write a book, that I was, empowered me, even on a person-to-person level. Like, she's overcome so many obstacles and, like, is the epitome of everything that we're talking about on this episode, because she was a vegan before it was even... I think they were still calling it vegetarian at the time. Like, she's just so ahead of her time. She's so wise. She's just everything. So yes, I'm going to sign Queen Afua. I'm going to collab with Yaki. And really because Dr. Sebi was more of the blueprint, and Yaki took that blueprint and he took it a step further and was able to create so many more ideas and concepts and ways of thinking about things. And I'm sure you want to speak to this more, so I won't hold you on this. But yeah, I think that the additional research that he's done as far as alkaline and, how things break down in our body just took Dr. Sebi's work to a whole other level. So
she said, I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm going to let you do it. But this is what he did.
I mean, for me, I'm just saying that's why that is my reasoning for having to drop Dr. Sebi, unfortunately. But they're all incredible, and I'm grateful for each and every one of them.
Cool. So I'm going to sign Yaki, Dr. Yaki, who's a doctor now. When I first got into Yaki, he wasn't officially a doctor because of all the programming that goes into the medical system, but has now going through a lot of trouble to be able to put the respect on his name of him knowing so much more than the typical doctor about health and nutrition. So I'm going to sign Dr. Yaki Awakened, an incredible man who has taught me so much about health, the mind, spirituality, everything. He is a holistic
healer,
polymath healer who knows so much. And so shout out to him. And then I'll collab with Queen Afua, who is another holistic person or woman, incredible woman, who has lifted the vibrations of so many women who are coming into their healing, and something that we need so much in the Black community for us to really come together as family. And she speaks so much on that, as well as what it means for us to be whole as a family. And then obviously no shade to Dr. Sebi, who was the foundation of a lot of people's healing journey in terms of their diets and introducing alkaline and pH balance to the people and to the masses, and all that he did to heal people at a time where this was unheard of in the 80s and 90s. And I think maybe even the 70s for Dr. Sebi. And like you said, was very pivotal in the life of Yaki, which is how he got his inspiration to get into his healing work. So shout out to the three of them and all the people that they have healed.
We're going to sign all of them.
Facts. Next, we got what?
Now we have science. So the three are Terrence Howard, Billy Carson, and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I already know my answer, but I'll let you go first because I don't want to.
Nah, go ahead. You good.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to sign Billy Carson.
All right, I think ours are going to be the same there. So, this is both of ours based on if I know you, I think I know you.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you would have asked me this 5 years ago, I would have probably signed Neil deGrasse Tyson because I'm so obsessed with, like, the cosmos and, like, that show, like, and astrophysics, like, all of those things. But again, getting out of my programming and understanding things from a different perspective and outside of the traditional ways that we kind of box ourselves in to learn things. Yes, Billy Carson and Terrence Howard, And honestly, I don't know. Maybe ours might not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You would say we would sign Billy Carson. We would collab with Terrence Howard, and we would have to drop Neil deGrasse Tyson. But
Yeah.
and I'll
Yeah.
let you speak to.
Yeah, I would say the same. I look at Neil deGrasse Tyson as smart as he is, and just like I look at the entertainment industry, he is funded by a major corporation in Fox with Cosmos, and which was a big, it's how he was introduced to a lot of the world was through Cosmos. But yeah, there's agendas in everything that comes along with these big corporations, and it's no different with science than
And
it
he's
is
a
with
protege
music.
of Carl. Was it Carl Sagan?
Carl Sagan, who was
So-
the original host of it, which again was funded. And we spoke on this in another episode, but just talking about how even our science is funded and only certain things cut through depending on that funding.
Yeah.
And last category is books. So 3 are The Alchemist, The Secret, and The 4 Agreements. Sign, Drop, Collab.
Dang. That's tough. Because, and I think these are really great books for this category because these are the 3 books that really were some of the first that I read when I got into like just kind of unlearning and like seeking more knowledge beyond like the normal spaces.
I think I got mine.
Okay, I'll let you go first then. You can go first.
Okay, so I'm gonna go the 4 agreements. I'm gonna sign the 4 agreements. I'm gonna collab with The Secret, and then I'm gonna drop The Alchemist. I'm dropping The Alchemist because I understood a lot of parts of that journey of just, keeping going on your journey and not stopping. I understood that at an early age. That was a part of it. I didn't have all the pieces to keep going in, and it was mainly career focused and relationship focused even early on, and making sure I had good relationships. But the healing parts of my self-care weren't there yet. But the overall message I already got. I would say I would sign the 4 agreements over The Secret because yes, the Secret talked about the power of, basically manifestation and calling things into your life with that vibration. But once you do that and you're learning how to do that, the 4 agreements breaks down the nuances of what comes up on that journey of calling different things in your life. Because even if you're calling great things in your life, it comes with a new set of challenges and a new set of people who are going to be higher or more intelligent than people that you may have dealt with a year or 2 ago. And in that comes the taking things personally and assuming things in these unknown territories of when you are calling those new things into your life. So the 4 agreements just gave me a way to pinpoint where is this discomfort coming from and being able to break those down into the 4 categories of not taking things personally, always doing your best, don't make assumptions, and being impeccable with your word. And the discomfort will come from one of those 4. And then they ended up coming out with the 5th agreement, which was, I think, to always be skeptical. I think is the 5th agreement. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's something like that.
It's like always be skeptical, but something.
So the 5th agreement is be skeptical, but learn to listen.
Yep.
Yes.
But skeptical because most of what you hear isn't true.
Yep. So this goes back to what we were saying about the programming and being open to, even when you think someone is wrong, to still listen. And yes, be skeptical, but go do your research to really figure it out so you can get out of your programming. Because so many people, we would just cut people off from a soundbite. And, cancel culture is really real these days. But yeah, so 4 agreements, definitely signing. How about you?
I think you summed that up so beautifully. I don't even want to muddy it up with anything that doesn't.
But that's the same for you?
I mean, yeah, it honestly is. And I think because you had even mentioned earlier today, like how The Alchemist is pretty much like a more like intellectual Wizard of Oz. Like I think that's a narrative that we've heard in our childhood before of just you had the power all along.
Yep.
The journey is like you were there from the beginning. Like, so yeah, I mean, not that and I do appreciate the storytelling element of it though, because I think it's a very non-traditional way to go about that kind of
versus like the self-help step by step.
Yeah. So it was a fiction book, but it had so much that you could learn from it. But yeah, I think you're right. 4 Agreements provides the foundation for you to know what to call in with the law of attraction that you learn in The Secret. So, yeah. But The Secret always has a special place in my heart because that's like the book I was reading around the time when I first met you.